Oh, man. Well, I hope that's not going to be a thing. Oh, uh, the Santa Advent Calendar for December 8th features the great Art Carney.
Please, Santa. I want a carriage and a dolly. Please, I want a gun and a playhouse and a set of soldiers in the fort. And oh, please, Santa Claus, a job for my daddy.
Arthur William Matthew Carney was born in 1918 in Mount Vernon, New York. As a comedian, he was known not just for his amazing slapstick capabilities, but also for a pronounced swagger, which was at least partially due to a shrapnel wound that he sustained in World War II, which left his right leg 3/4 of an inch shorter than his left. Carney began his career in entertainment in the 1930s as a comic singer for the Horace Heidt Orchestra. He quickly became known not just for his comic singing, but also for his impersonations. In particular, he was very popular for his FDR and Winston Churchill impersonations. So popular, in fact, that not only were they used for comedy sketches, but he frequently found himself being hired to play those roles for radio dramas. When he moved into television, he wound up working for Jackie Gleason as a regular ensemble member on Jackie Gleason's Cavalcade of Stars. This is where he would debut in what would become one of his most iconic characters, Ed Norton of the Honeymooners. And in his career, this role in particular would earn him 7 Emmy nominations and 6 wins. From the start of his career in the 1930s up through his retirement in the late 1980s, Art Carney would remain a fixture on television and in film. He even appeared in the Star Wars Christmas special as one of the featured celebrity guests. He returned to acting only once after retiring in a small but featured role in 1993's Last Action Hero.
I find of late that I have very little choice in the matter of expressing emotions. I can either drink or I can weep. And drinking is so much more subtle.
Will you please leave?
Created by Rod Serling, The Twilight Zone is mostly remembered for its twist endings and ironic punishments for deserving bad eggs. But Night of the Meek is one of the exceptions to the general rule. It's an episode where nobody is irredeemable and nobody is truly punished. It's a perfect Christmas in the Twilight Zone. Art Carney plays Henry Corwin, a down-on-his-luck town drunk who has picked up a job playing Santa Claus at a department store, only to find that the juxtaposition of the well-to-do families in the store with the poverty in which he lives drives him even further to drink. On Christmas Eve, after being fired for drinking on the job, he finds a bag in the street from which he can pull anything that anybody needs. And he uses this ability to become a real-life Santa Claus, handing out toys to the children and necessities to the adults that he meets, even though it lands him at the police precinct.
Well, go ahead, Corwin. I fancy a bottle of cherry brandy, vintage 1903.
Oh, that's a good year.
And for you, Officer Flaherty, how dare you drag me down here at the busiest time of the year to look at a bag full of garbage
Mr.
that was
Dundee,
found by
Dundee. Pardon me, gentlemen. Merry Christmas to both of you.
Art Carney was not the first comic actor that Rod Serling had used in a dramatic role, and Carney plays the role completely straight. In fact, Carney, in addition to being a fantastic comic actor, was an amazing dramatic actor. Part of that is down to him using his sense of timing and his physical abilities honed by doing slapstick for so many years to underscore the seriousness of the situations in which his character finds himself. Carney's Corwin, or his Santa Claus, really, is possessed of an unwavering sense of right and wrong, as well as an overwhelming desire to get out and do something about injustice in the world, that has been stymied time and again by his own lack of resources. As a result, as he says, he has found only two ways to express his emotions. He can either drink or he can weep. But because this is the Twilight Zone, Corwin is given the opportunity to prove himself in a bizarre, magical way. The sheer dedication with which Carney's Corwin throws himself into his newfound purpose is charming and endearing, and it isn't long before, in the eyes of the audience as well as the eyes of the Twilight Zone, Corwin has proven that he is genuinely worthy of the mantle of Santa Claus.
You know, I can't think of anything I want. I guess what I really wanted is to be the biggest gift giver of all time. And in a way, I think I had that tonight.
You know, this particular episode of The Twilight Zone looks a lot different from how people think The Twilight Zone looks. It was one of a handful of episodes that was shot on video in order to save money, and also was shot on a limited number of sets, which makes it feel a lot more like you're actually watching a stage play. Even so, Carney's performance really ranks up there with some of the greatest Twilight Zone performances, in my opinion. What do you think? Have you seen the original Night of the Meek? Drop into the comments below and tell us what you think of Art Carney's Henry Corwin and his role in the world as Santa Claus. And while you're down there, why not take a look at like and subscribe? They're both down there too. If you didn't care for the video, I mean, there's always the other button that you can hit. There's also a share button if you think anybody else out there would enjoy seeing the Santa Advent Calendar. As always, I am Glenn Williams, the film optimist, and take care of yourself. Because you know, I'm not there to take care of you.